must be understood in one way or another. We should inspire people or motivate people to understand what motivation means and what motivation can do for you as an individual, as a country, as Africans, as Ugandans, as East Africans. We must allow or push for people to understand the importance of motivation. You have to have something to motivate you in life so that you can move from where you are to move to the next step. So I come up with this idea. Lucky enough, I had always wanted to sing a song called Motivation. But at this point of my life, it's important that I drop statements, I do certain things that can impact massively onto the people of Uganda. So I dropped the statement to one of my writers, joined me, and we thought about so many things during that time. And one of those most important things is coming up with a motivation week. A week that comes once every year. And then we also have affirmed that we will have that motivation week every after Valentine's Day, where people have to move around and ask. You can ask your family, you can ask your sisters, your brothers, you can ask anyone on the street what motivates you. So that is the week that we're heading on.
So every year we will, just the way you have the Bebe list, yes. Every after Valentine's Day is the motivation week.
Yes, where everyone can ask anyone for their own good what motivates you. You can have that conversation. Media personalities would be the best to lead this conversation, because in that question you can help people find what motivates them.
So oli waba blogger nga yo mulimu gwe kwa kusabula mu motivation week emundu aziwomoza.
Exactly.
Flora, obulidde. Okay, I'll go to Brian Wako. Brian Wako, kibuuzo ki ky'olina?
Okay, about Moses Sally, I want you to motivate people out there as an individual. How have you managed to be relevant in this music industry for this long, topping charts for all the time you've been in the music industry over time?
Having a plan was always one, it was my first most important thing. When you have a plan, it's easy and you make sure that you stick to it. Okay? So I always had a plan to be one of the best artists in the world. I always had a plan to be successful. Now, the next question is, what do you need to be successful? So as long as your plan is to be successful, then that means that everything you have to do has to equate to success. Meaning, I'll give you a good example. If you want to be successful in life, you can't do drugs. So I put drugs aside. If you want to be successful in life, you have to have a wife or a husband. Get married. When you get married, respect your wife. Have children. Take care of them. Look after them. Educate them. If you want to be successful in life, you have to have friends, good friends. For you to have good friends, you have to be a good person. You have to sacrifice. You have to care so that people can put an eye. So that all became my point. So as long as you have that plan. So how does Bebe motivate people? The question is, you can see from the pain, from my story, given the bullets, given the bombs, given the hate that had been created on me, which is no longer there, given the misconception that was created, but I persevered through that pain. So pain is what really motivates me. So whoever is watching can use their pain to get out of that bad situation.
Thank you so much. Mr. Henry, yes.
Thank you so much. I think after 25 years in the game, it's only fitting that Rasta really motivates us. But my major interest now, or Okugenda Kubimusindikiriza, when it comes to motivation, you said you got the word, you got a writer, and I did a song. So, are we having the song today? What can you tell us about the song? Producer, and everything. We are really looking forward to hearing the song.
Let me say that it's a two-in-one. I'm very lucky that, again, because I had the idea, it happened to come in at the right time. So here comes the creation of the Motivation Week, and here comes the reality that we have written a song called Motivation. So, and that's what I wanted to really look at and inspire people with the sound, because there's continuity that we need. Yes, we have a beautiful song called Motivation on the Break the Chains album, and now we are going into that week of motivation where all partners, friends, people, family can now focus and find out if they have some fire burning inside them, because the motivation thing is fire within you, what pushes you. So yes, there's a song.
So yes, there is a song.
Douglas Katononyo,
yes,
banaffe abali kutwaba kusanyuka TV badde nsaba panelists banange betwatwogera tumixingemuko bebeli yansekerera naye sa tumixingemuko eri banaffe abatwaba kusanyuka kusanyuka swimming live.
Okay, maybe kansabe Bebe ku emisari kyabuziza okiddemuko ne mu Luganda.
Mukisa gwatukutte bulungi nti wetwafuna idea ya Motivation Week ate era netusalawo n'okuwandika oluyimba lwa motivation. So motivation kyeki mu Luganda naali kinyonyodde nga omuliro ogukusindika okukola ekintu kyonna kyo okuva mu mbeera embi gy'olimu okudda mu mbeera ennungi. So tulaba nti Uganda nsi yaffe ennungi, abantu be Uganda balina zero, balina ekintu ekyo munda, ffe tuli balemeziko bahasla. So naye kyagala omuntu n'abeera nga asobola okubeera motivated mu direction entuufu. So mu ngeri eyo kwe kulowooza nti tuteekewo Bebe Cool n'etandika kye bayita Motivation Week. Motivation Week eno ye wiiki gye weebuuza ng'omuntu kiki ekikusindika munda. Osanga oluusi olw'okuba tulina kikusindika y'ensonga lwaki okyali bw'oli oba bubi nga bw'oli. Naye ate bw'obeera n'ekikusindika, abantu abasinga balooza nti embeera embi actually embi. Embeera embi eyinza obutabambi lwa nsonga nti embeera embi yekusindikiriza okukola ennyo, okumotivating okukola ennyo osobole okufuuka omuntu ali better. So n'olwekyo nekitusanga nga n'oluyimba tuluwandiise, so netukuba ebinyonyi bibiri n'ejjinja limu mu weekend.
Okay, tulina date of release.
Tulina date of release era tugenda kugamba nti ng'ennaku z'omwezi 21 ye Friday eno oluyimba lujja kubeera nga lufuluma oluyitibwa Motivation.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'll pass the mic over to Pri.
First of all, I want to say thank you to you, Bebe. I didn't get the chance because you hadn't walked in here. I don't know where you got the motivation to do this, but this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, my question is, there are so many people, millions of people that are inspired by Bebe. For some people, it's your music. For some people, it's because, he's a family man. We love how, loudly he loves his woman, Zuena. But then, that's on the other side. Now we have a Bebe on this side that inspires and motivates people. Who inspires Bebe that is inspiring and motivating many other people?
I would say, if you ask me, inspire, I would turn it into who inspires? No, what motivates me? Because the inspiration, I would derive it from my motivation. What motivates me to motivate others? The inspiring, yes, we have always inspired. I can look good, and then I can have a beautiful wife, and you really see that things are moving well for me, and that's the road you want to move. But in general, pain motivates me. Without pain, I cannot move from one place to another. If you notice one thing, I'm going to give you. Remember the hardships. Sit down and write down all the hardships you've ever heard about Bebe Cool. In reality, if I didn't have those hardships, I would not be motivated to work hard to beat them. Now, on the inspiration, yes, I can say who inspires me. Several people inspire me. Several situations inspire me. Successful people inspire me. I make them my friends. I've got friends. I'll give you an example. The president of the country, President Museveni, his brain inspires me so much. So much. Dr. Sudiru Paleria, major inspiration.
List of our friends, Mujulida.
Sagodon Wavamono, immense inspiration and motivation. I've got the likes of the latest that shocked me, but I was very lucky and happy that he also fell into the basket of my friend. But that one now is a friend of so many of us. I think that's Ham Chigundu. That's the youngest billionaire that we have in Africa. The question was, I asked him in person, how did you achieve this at half my age?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nearly twice older than you, and you're so successful. So those are the things that I look at. I look at the age, the success, the rates, and then I raise I use those to raise my bar. So as much as I can inspire or motivate people, I also have those who have inspired and motivated.
On your list, considering that you are an artist, a musician, I would expect that there would be maybe a name of a musician that motivates Bebe Cool. But it's, the president, it's Gordon Wavamono, it is Ham, one of the youngest billionaires that we have. Don't we have any artists motivating Bebe Cool, either because of how they push their brand or who they are as a person?
It's unfortunate that art was a vehicle. Music was a vehicle to take me to my goal. The goal was success. But what vehicle in my plan did I use to get there? Now, as simple as this, I wanted to be a musician successfully. Meaning, if you're a successful musician, you can use that platform to make a good social capital.
Yes.
So when you make a good social capital, I mean friends who matter, who are valuable, who can add something onto you. So that's why, in specific, it wasn't an individual or specifically an artist to inspire me to my success. No. Remember, also artists have different stories, and they are also inspired by their own lives. So it's difficult for him as an artist, because he became big, it must have been the fire behind him. So I also have to discover my own fire and then make a plan to reach my goal.
Okay. Do you have plans of motivating the president to return to music? Another rap?
I know, I thought that answer was going to poor presidents. But now you mentioned the song. Now you mentioned the song. Indeed, I mean, you see, music has now been simplified by this era of young people. Even when you talk, a very productive producer can use the words as you talk and make a song. So I'm very sure the old man will return to music.
Thank you, Rasta.
Thank you so much, Prim. I'll pass the mic over to Crystal Panda. Crystal, what's your question to Bebe Cool?
My question is about his evolution, and I've seen him as a big artist for over 25 years. I've been following his game ever since I started enjoying music. He's been around for 25 years. So him starting out Gargamel, just like Gargamel in Jamaica, is evolving from reggae, dancehall, to Afrobeats. What's the motivation behind that?
Life cannot be stagnant. You can't live in one place, because then it stays boring and not productive. So even when I chose to sing, I knew that that fashion of music can change. But the most important thing is to learn how to adopt. So you can see that the moment I started singing, those days it was about Lingala. When I went to Nairobi, it became dancehall, but in Uganda it was still Lingala. When I came back to Uganda, we pushed Lingala out and we brought in dancehall. And then after that dancehall, we brought in Chidandali. So I have been evolving into what the product, the consumer wants at that time. And you can see that right now, that's the same intention. You can see that now it's Afrobeat worldwide. So I'm trying to adopt. It's evolution. And the best way to win and survive in a country or in life, you must learn how to evolve. Because the weather moves. If it's hot, take off your shirt. If it's cold, put on a jacket. If you need to run, run. If people are running, run. If people are seated, sit. For you to get paid, if the answer is payment.
So, before I give the mic over, you're in Afrobeat right now. As a young artist who's just beginning, Okugenda tukuba Chidandali, and that has been like the best line of Uganda music. Now to Afrobeat. Muyimbi muwe y'obubaka, how I can do better. Buzibu ky'obuli makati awo kukyusa n'obuuka n'oddeno. Because sinnabakulira bw'okola album y'amapiano. And amapiano is trending worldwide. And you say you have to jump on the train when it's moving. Should we also expect an album on amapiano?
Definitely. And if you look at the album, if you get a chance to listen to the album very soon, it will be on. There's amapiano on the album. As we begin, we must expect the unexpected on the Break the Chains album. But the word to the young guys, we have been there. You have to trust the successful people. You have to. You are lucky that you don't have to dig your own road. For us, we had to dig the road so that we can walk it. But now, all the artists in Uganda are walking a road that has been dug. Okay? So, it's up to you to see who has reached far. And then I will walk their footsteps. Because now I can be walking. By now I expect young artists who are able, who understand, who stream world music, who are informed, who are aware of the technology, to be knowing that now it is Afrobeat and amapiano that are selling. And now, what do you want to do? Do you want to sell to a smaller crowd, or you want to sell to a bigger crowd? So it is going to be clear that everyone should now aspire to sell to a bigger crowd. Nothing comes easy. Today you may not work, tomorrow it may not work, but I can guarantee you that after 15 years it will work. The question is, does Bebe still have 15 years? No, the 15 years is for a starter. For me, the test is 2 years. Third year, it will work. Break the chain.
Obuzibu bwa kikono, bwe bakyakuba ekikono naawe. Obuzibu bwa kikono, onabyogeranga gy'olibirigize naye obuzibu kikono. Omuntu yeewaze etya ekikono mu industry. Naawe wooli bakyakubamu ekikono wooli. Baba bakikuba, wali abakikuba naye bw'ogamba nti bano mbayite eno bwe nti. Omwana mubuusa ali ku bbala.
Kati emboozi njagala tugifuula ennamba nze naawe ku show yo. Era njagala ogiyite
ekikono edition.
Njagala njikuwe mu detail, nkuwe ne examples, because I'm going to be able to tugenda kolayo media tour. Era eriba partners baffe bakwano bange bonna aba media bali mwenna gye muli. Saabatadde bali nti saabayise oba ki, naye ngenda kukola media tour, person to person, station to station, tukkirize okulaba nti nno tugatta obubaka bwa Break the Chain album, naddala ennyimba nga zino eziriko nga zina omulamwa lwaki tuba tuziyimbi.
Thank you so much. Lastly, let's pass the mic to Flora.
Music. I want us to talk about relationships. Mami Zu yabadde no ku Twitter Now posting auntie, besides money, what's that one thing that would motivate you to fall for a man? I want to ask Bebe Cool. Besides beauty, what motivates you to fall for a woman?
Obviously, brains, patience. I think, to me, those are the most important. If you have a brain, I'll definitely see how you use it. And if how you use it does help me think twice about what I'm doing. Because that's how I made a choice of the same lady. Yeah.
Because you don't know what I'm thinking. Because the head is inside. Physical appearance.
The physical appearance tells much lot about a person. That's why you see when I go out there and work out, okay? When you walk around and see how Bebe looks like, most of the time I hear people say, hey, yeah. So before I even say anything, you'll be able to say it out. So that's the first step. Then you say the first word, hi. You'd see the demeanor of them. Then the first converse, I don't need 10 minutes to know that this lady has common sense or has a good brain. I need only 2 minutes.
When you started working out, so when I get motivating, I'm not alpha, I'm posting a new sweet and the tea. Can we do a cool when
Of course, beauty is a key motivator. Most especially that if you're as we are married, okay? There is no way I would not look at my wife looking nice and I don't get inspired to look nice. Otherwise, the simple thing is, she looks very beautiful, she gets up, she looks at herself in the mirror, and you with your very big stomach, you're still laying down. So when she walks to the bathroom, it is your turn to get up, stand up, walk, look at yourself in the mirror. And sincerely speaking, see if she's telling you the truth. Most women keep telling their men, honey, it's okay. But in reality, she doesn't like it. So for me, her beauty motivates me to become a better looking individual every day. Because as we grow, the most important thing is to keep our family together, and it all starts in the bedroom. Yes, it's so that I actually would want we should have a show that can be extensive. Because my album, Break the Chain, has so many components. So that's one of the components. So I should also have that conversation with you based on the same questions, and we elaborate much more.
Okay, I'm going to pass the mic over to Mr. Henry, just this last round of questions, and then we'll interject, and then Bebe will be saving the 3 minutes that I promised the live audience, and then we'll be closing.
I think everyone has literally asked everything. You've asked about family, you've asked about music, they've talked about the evolution, we talked about motivation. Never really come easy, but discussion here. But it's about how often this is going to happen and how we're going to be embarking on this journey of Motivation Week, the expectations and everything with this new initiative that we see.
Ngera we never Gambia. The most it was a dream, but I also felt that I could make it happen. To embark on motivating people or helping people to find the reason to be motivated. So I have come up with an idea of having a motivation week every year. And that week will always come immediately after Valentine's Day. So this is a week where you ask people what motivates you. Imagine you, ladies and gentlemen, who work on media. That is the most constructive week that you can use to help people come up or find themselves. Because you see, most people will think that pain is made for crying. No. So that's basically it. And Okugenda mu Uganda, Abaganda bafe bali ku Sanyuka TV.
Thank you.
And tujjanga kubeera ne motivation week, ejjanga kujja buli ejjanga kuba week eyo oluvannyuma lwa Valentine's Day buli mwaka. So nga bwe tubaddenga ne list, era tujjanga kukola promo okutambula all over nga tubuuza abantu ebibamotivatinga oba okubayamba okufuna ekintu ekinamumotivatinga ave mu mbeera kyalimu.
Uncle Bebe, Brido gaba show under Flora.
Yes.
Because we're talking about motivation and fitness and health.
Yes.
It's a request. If you and I can have hours in the gym.
What's your question here?
We can go weight for weight.
100% yes.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to say, when do we begin? Okay, this is my working out schedule. I work out 5 days a week. Minimum 4. I work out in the morning, 9 to 11. If I miss my workout in the morning, I have to compensate it at 5 or 6 in the evening.
Okay.
What's your workout schedule?
I do 4 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, I rest Wednesday, I do Thursday and Friday.
So
11 to 1.
Okay. I can fit into 11 to 1. Where do you work out from?
Gym Joge.
Yes, guys. Yeah, cut it now. That one is a dandy.
What's your favorite parts of your body to work on? Because usually men are into upper body.
When I was young, it was the upper body.
Yeah.
But now it's the lower body. Lower body is so important because that's where all the energy that applies from the upper body comes from.
Yeah.
So of course you can see that I'm now losing on my upper body weight, but I'm gaining a lot of energy in my lower body for purposes of maintaining, being able to carry my weight, being able to be fit.
Yes.
You need, even before you walk to gym, you need the legs. Yeah. So the lower body is so important.
And you see, most people don't understand how important working out is, especially for your mental health.
Exactly.
So perhaps maybe when they hear it from a man like you, they will listen.
I must tell the country that the only way I would have survived the hardships that I've been through in my life, in my music, it has been because I work out. If I wasn't working out, the amount of stress I would have contained or I would have had me dead. Every time I work out and I sweat, I go take my shower, I am extremely fresh, my brain works 10 times faster, I solve more questions after workout, and when I get fatigued, I can't do anything. So that's the difference. So people who don't work out are fatigued. While those who work out, the brain is, actually the science is very simple. The faster the brain, this is what I say. When you work out, blood moves faster. So there's more oxygen going through the brain. So the brain is getting much more oxygen in a short period of time. The more oxygen the brain gets, the more activity, or however much you stress it, it will be able to resolve all your issues. Maybe more Uganda. It's a very important question. Workout ekuyamba etya okujja ko stress. Kiri practical. Working out, omusaayi gweyongera okudduka mangu. Buli lwe gudduka amangu, gutambuza oxygen nayingira brain. Buli omusaayi guyingira bulina oxygen, ogufuluma gumuleseemu. Kitegeeza the more oxygen gy'okompiringa mu bwongo, the more obwongo gye bufuna ekyokulya kyabwe kibayita oxygen, ate ne bukola more better.
Ate ndowooza ekintu ekirala abantu kye batategeera, people that don't work out. The industry that we are in, drugs is a very big problem. But then people don't understand that the feel good they get from drugs is you can get better feel good from lifting weights, but this is a better feel good.
Actually, you can get a better feel good from looking good. Because when you work out, you look good.
Yeah.
So when you look good,
Speaking about gym, what kind of food do you eat, Bebe?
At my age, of course, I cut down on eating everything. I don't eat red meat, but that's a purpose of gout. But I do have one meal a day. I have it at 4 o'clock, between 3 and 5. I have only 8 windows of snacking, 8-hour window of snacking. I do intermittent fasting 4 times a week, 16 hours. So if I eat my meal at 4, I will have my breakfast at 8 in the morning. Between then, nothing goes in the tummy. But that is now, because the body has started to wear out. But as you're young, you can be allowed and allow yourself to do things so that your body can be able to exercise its right to destroy those things. So, I really appreciate the fact that Douglas, I have these people here. But I also want to ask them some questions, sure. Ate nango ubona zembo wandisi.
Bade nsaba nga tetunagenda ku bibuuzo byo. Tutunuleko finances wano katono. Gwenga omu ku abo abantu abali motivating eri bannaffe abalala ate nga nawe olina bakumotivating. Bade twadisa buluzungu naye nugezaako kiza buluganda eri bannaffe abali kusanyuka TV nti ki financial literacy as a way of maintaining financial stability in your respective fields. What is your take on it?
Pardon?
Your take on financial literacy as a way of maintaining financial stability in your respective fields.
Mu Luganda, njagala ekibuuzo ekyo kibuuze ne mu Luganda kubanga bannaffe bali abasanyuka TV.
Ogenda kuddamu onsekerere.
Sijja kuba ekibuuzo kiri very important ekyo.
Njagala tutunuulire ku ngeri gy'olabamu ebintu ku magezi g'ofunye mu byenfuna oba ebyensimbi mu ngeri gy'okuumyemu ebyenfuna by'okuba nga biri stable oba nga biri wamu mu fields mu mitendero n'emirimu egy'enjawulo egy'okola as an investor ng'omuyimbi n'ebirala ebifaanana byo.
Financial literacy kyetwaliise nga wanagambye ebyokusoma ku by'essente ku byenfuna. Okay? Nti okusoma ku byenfuna kiyamba ky'omuntu kyekyali badde bwe nali kitegedde ekibuuzo. Of course okusoma ku byenfuna kiyamba omuntu kubanga omuntu atamanyi atalina idea ku byanfuna tasobola kufuna, kyekisookera ddala. Ate ekyokubiri omuntu atalina idea ku byanfuna tasobola kuseevinga. Ekyokusatu omuntu atalina idea atategeera byanfuna akola ensobi okulowooza nti okusipendinga oba okufulumya nsobi. Kati waliwo ebyenfuna n'omanya nti waliwo okufulumya n'okuyingiza. So kintu kikulu nnyo omuntu yenna gy'ali okufuba okulaba nti afuna okuyigirizibwa ku byenfuna. So financial literacy is definitely a very important aspect in everyone's life. Of course, I didn't go to school to study it. I used common sense and experience to understand. But I also used my social capital. I know there are several people I used to disturb so much. Agase Kalala of Radio Simba is the first person who suffered the Bebe disease of financial literacy because he couldn't understand. Then the second person who has suffered that effect is my wife, who is keeping on asking, Moses, you're overspending every day. Singa saving a twalibadde tukola kino singa naye ate nga nze ndaba spending yange esobola okukola ki okuleeta but you need to have some literacy. You need to be doing things intentionally naye nga okikoze nga business tiwenfulumya nja kufuna naye ekibuuzo ekiriwo